Hi Vikings, today we are looking at our last document in the mini DBQ of why did Islam spread so quickly? So remember, anytime you have a text to read and questions to answer, what do you do first? You got it, you read the questions, beautiful. So the questions, we have 5 questions again. Number 1, and again, if you are working from home, you cannot edit this document because it is a PDF. Just take a lined piece of paper and write your answers on that. Cool. So, number 1, who was the Muslim army fighting in this Who was the Muslim army fighting in this account? Number 2, to whom did the Muslims attribute their victory? Number 3, whose version of the battle is this? Why is this important to note? Number 4, how did the people of Hims, or the Syrians, feel about the Muslims? And number 5, based on this document, write a claim about what caused Islam to spread so quickly. Just like I said before, yes, that is the exact same question that you've been answering every single time, but as always, this is new information, and so your claim is going to be based on this document, this information. Why did Islam spread so quickly? We got it? We're good? Good. Okay. So this comes from a man named Ahmad ibn Jabir al-Baladuhuri, I think, from his book, The Origins of the Islamic State, which is written around 850 Common Era. So again, hundreds of years after Muhammad, and well, 240 years-ish after Muhammad, and the religion is still relatively new, but has grown extremely rapidly at this point. Follow along with me as we read the note. In the year 636, the Byzantine Emperor Heraclius gathered an army at the Yarmouk River in Syria to resist the expansion of Islam. The people of Hims are the Syrians, non-Muslims who had been under Byzantine rule. This account was written by the Arabic Muslim historian al-Badahuri about 200 years after the battle. Hey, look, that's question number 3. Whose version of the battle is this? But do we know the second part? Why is this important? No, we should probably read to be able to figure that out. You can always pause the video and write your answers. Okay, follow along with me as we read. Heraclius gathered a large Byzantine army numbering about 200,000. This army he put under the command of one of his choice men. The Muslims, when it's spelled like this, it's still the same, Muslims. We have been seeing it spelled M-U-S-L-I-M. This is the exact same, M-O-S-L-E-M. It's almost as though it's translated from a different language. Okay, sorry. The Muslims gathered together, and the Byzantine army marched against them. The battle they fought at Al-Yarmouk was one of the fiercest and bloodiest kind. In this battle, 24,000 Muslims took part. The Byzantines and their followers in the battle tied themselves to each other by chains so that no one might set his hope on flight. By Allah's help, some 70,000 of them were put to death. When Heraclius massed his troops against the Muslims, and the Muslims heard that they were coming to meet them at Al-Yarmouk, the Muslims refunded to the inhabitants of Hims the land tax they had taken from them, saying, "We are too busy to support and protect you. Take care of yourselves." But the people of Hims replied, "We like your rule and justice far better than the state of oppression and tyranny in which we were. The army of Heraclius we shall indeed repulse from the city." Saying this, they closed the gates of the city and guarded them. When by Allah's help the unbelievers were defeated and the Muslims won, they opened the gates of their cities, went out with the singers and music players who began to play, and paid the land tax. Now, friends, this was written over a millennium ago. Over 1,000 years ago, almost 1,300. So the language is a little bit different from how we talk, right? A little bit fancier, a little bit harder to understand. So let's go through the text and let's discuss and try and figure out what exactly it's saying, okay? So in the very beginning, we've got Heraclius, who is the leader of the Byzantine Empire. He well, that's it. He's just a Byzantine leader, and he gathered 200,000 of his men to fight against the Muslims. So Muslims were expanding, remember, out of the Arabian Peninsula and into the adjoining areas. Remember, we saw that map? Yes? And then we remember that in document D, we had discussed that the Persians and the Byzantiums, people of Byzantine, yes, okay. The Persians and the Byzantiums had been fighting against each other for a very long time, and so they were exhausted and they were weak. And then when the Muslim army decided to expand, they kind of had an easier job taking over. Well, similar thing here. The Byzantiums brought 200,000 people. The Muslims brought 2,400 people, right? And it was the fiercest and bloodiest kind of battle that the Muslims had ever taken part in. However, we see right here, by Allah's help, remind me, who is Allah? You can pause the video and go back and look at your paper, sure. Good. Allah is the God of Islam, right? Allah is the Muslim God, yes? Okay. So it's saying, by Allah's help, some 70,000 of them were put to death. When we say them, are we talking about the Byzantines or are we talking about the Muslims? If it's Allah helping them, who is it that were put to death? Exactly. Allah helped the Muslims kill the Byzantines. Cool. And then we've got another part of the story. So Heraclius had massed his troops. He'd gotten all 200,000 of his troops together, and the Muslims learned about this. And so what did the Muslims do to the people of Hims that they had just taken over or were about to take over? No, had just taken over. They refunded the inhabitants of Hims the land tax that they had taken from them. And they had said, we are too busy to support and protect you. Take care of yourselves. In other words, we cannot take your money. It would be unethical. We cannot protect you. Therefore, we cannot take your money. What did the people of Hims say in response? Exactly. The people of Hims said, well, we like you more than we like them. So instead, we are going to close the gates. We're not going to let them into our city. And good luck. So after, right here we've got, by Allah's help, the unbelievers were defeated and the Muslims won. The people of Hims opened the gates. They went out singing with music and paid the land tax again. So we've got these three questions. Remind me when you're answering your question, what do you do when you answer your question? Exactly, you restate it. So, who was the Muslim army fighting in this account? You could either say the Muslim army was fighting blank in this account, or you could turn things around totally, and you could say in this account, the Muslim army was fighting fill in the blank. Okay, yes, cool. Same thing with number 2. To whom did the Muslims attribute their victory? The Muslims attributed their victory to blank. Yes, we got it? Cool. Okay. Most important thing is number 5. Please, please, please write your claim explaining how Islam was able to spread so quickly. There are actually 2 reasons in here. Pause the video, write your claim. Actually, answer all the questions. Pause the video because I'm moving on. I said pause the video! Oh my gosh. Oh, you did? Sorry, my bad. I apologize. All right, so now we're on the back of the paper. If you have the paper copy, if you do not have the paper copy, just line paper. Make your life easy, okay? Don't even have to draw the boxes. Just say, document B, here's my claim. Document C, here's my claim. We want everything on one paper, okay? Okay. So, in the boxes below, you will write a claim for each of the documents you read during this unit. Each claim should give a clear answer to the essential question, why did Islam spread so quickly? Friends, I'm going to tell you right now, this should be the easiest thing you do over these 2 weeks, because literally all you are doing is just copying what you have already written. Okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay? So pause the video, get all of your papers. The reason we're doing this is so you don't have to keep all your papers. You're welcome. So collect all your papers, copy down the claims that you have written. Pause and play. So I have all of my claims written, just like you guys do, yes? Now we're gonna work on this bottom one together. So some of them, like I couldn't decide on one claim, so I wrote 2 claims for them. Let's work on documents E and F, okay? So document E we did yesterday, or not yesterday, Monday. And then document F we did today. That was yesterday. Oh my gosh. Good morning, friends. So we have, for my claim, I know that after reading document E, that Islam spread so quickly because of the pact, where it was like, okay, so you have 2 choices. You can either become Muslim or you can pay a ton of money and still practice your own religion, I guess. But easiest way to do that was, or easiest way to survive really, was to convert to Islam. So I want to say that Islam spread so quickly because of the pact. But I remember I can't use the word because. So what I'm going to do, just like when we're restating the question, I'm going to move things around. Instead of saying Islam spread so quickly because of the pact, instead I'm going to say, no, this is where you actually answer. Yeah, I'm moving it around. So the pact caused Islam to spread quickly. Am I still saying the same thing? But do I have any reasoning in there? Okay, so it all makes sense. And then for document F, I have 2 different claims, TBH. One of them is belief in a powerful God who protects and helps people win wars caused Islam to spread quickly, right? Because, I mean, right here in the document, it says, when by Allah's help, the unbelievers were defeated. And then over here, by Allah's help, some 70,000 of them were put to death. So that tells me, the outsider, the reader, that a powerful God is, or belief in a powerful God is what helped Islam spread quickly. Okay. Another thing that like really kind of stood out to me was just how powerful these people were. I mean, 24,000 people beat an army of 200,000. Think about that. Like, take away the thousands. 24 people beat 200? That's crazy, right? So I would say that Islam spread because of the powerful warriors. Crap, I can't say because, so I would have to switch it around. So what would my claim be then? I'm not telling you, you have to figure it out. Okay, so now we're working together on the bottom part. When you are done, choose your 3 strongest claims and combine them all into one claim. So, kind of how I said the pact caused Islam to spread quickly, I would have my 3 reasons there. So I would have the pact, belief in a powerful God, and blah caused Islam to spread quickly. Does that make sense? So I'm taking my claim and I'm not really changing it, but I am changing it in a way that I have every single one of my reasons, because I'm only choosing 3 reasons. I have all 3 of those reasons in my one claim, because your claim should be one powerful sentence that answers the essential question. Okay? So I've got A, comma, B, comma, and C caused Islam to spread quickly. Yes, we get it? Makes sense? Cool. If you stayed this long, thank you. And as always, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Your claims need to be done by the end of class today. You need your one essential claim because tomorrow we are working on gathering our evidence. So if you have extra time at the end right now, go through the documents and underline what your evidence is going to be. As always, be good people, make good choices. Go Go Vikings!